Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
If you think I'm pretty, lay your hands on me. No, you can't stop thinking about it. I know that you're shitty and you're bad for me, but I can't stop thinking about it. If you think I'm pretty, lay your hands on me. No, you can't stop thinking about it. I know that you're shitty and you're bad for me, but I can't stop thinking about it.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
It's time for Ball Talk with Sanford and Johnny. From what's happening on the Blue at Boise State to the Mountain West and beyond. The biggest storylines, the best guests, and most outlandish opinions from two dudes who eat, sleep, and breathe college football. Ball Talk is presented by Circa Las Vegas and Circa Sports. Check out the world's largest sports book at Circa and watch the game at Stadium Swim on your next trip to Las Vegas. Book your trip today at circalasvegas.com. Ball Talk with Sanford and Johnny, featuring former Boise State quarterback and longtime coach Mike Sanford, and KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's Johnny Mallory on Bronco Nation News.
There he is, Season 3, Episode 2, Ball Talk Sanford Johnny. You got all the good stuff. This is the first time, this is the only time, Coach, that we get to catch up every week. I love it. Looking good. Saw you on TV a little bit last week with your Valor Christian victory, and I'm ready for some stinking ball talk tonight.
I'm ready for some ball talk, but I'm ready for some real ball tomorrow, man. Can you believe it? The beloved Boise State Broncos kicking off the season. What do we get, 3:30 Mountain Time on a Thursday? Is that real?
The weirdest, right? We're all just kind of wondering there, but who really cares because it's football? You're not one of those things. You're not really going to say anything because you don't really care because it's football anyway. But yeah, an odd kick even for the East Coast football fan. A 5:30
is not a very normal kick.
Not for Eastern as well. You're right. Great stuff tonight. This is too for you. I was thinking about this driving into work today. Thinking about okay, what are we going to do on Ball Talk? And I was thinking it's got to be nice for you. Probably especially for Anne Marie, shout out to the kids and your wife, that you get to be a fan now. You're on the air every day in Denver. You coach a high level, high power high school football team in the Denver area. I mean, if Anne Marie's sweating these Valor Christian games, and I don't think she is to the level she was in Western Kentucky or Notre Dame.
Give you a little hint. She didn't go to the opening game down in Colorado Springs, so she's not sweating it too much.
Okay, I can watch it on TV. She probably didn't do that a whole lot.
Cool, right?
That is cool. But I mean, you get to be a fan. And March Madness, maybe I'll say this differently in a few months, but what college football has done with Labor Day weekend, they hit it so far out of the park, Coach. This ball hasn't even landed yet. It starts oddly tomorrow, like you said, kind of the weekend. You have games Friday, Saturday's amazing. Sunday, you got a monster game. Monday, you got the day off, and you also have a monster game. No NFL to worry about yet. It's just you and a full slate of college football, and that's got to be a blast for you this time of year, just to get to be a fan, man.
It 100% is, and this is going to be a glorious weekend, man. And it's funny because now I understand why the Boise State Broncos are kicking off at 3:30 Mountain Time. It's because the greatest 4 or 5 day stretch of football is this Labor Day weekend, and they decided to start the beers even earlier, man. Beer 30 is actually on Thursday during the workday. That's when the Boise State Broncos kick off, man. Can you imagine the bars in downtown Boise tomorrow at about 2:30? People playing hooky. Nobody works anymore. The tech world is taking over anyway. There's no real jobs.
They create their own schedules now. Yeah, nobody clocks in anymore, right? Oh, dude, it's going to be popping. You're right. It should be.
How excited the bar and restaurant owners are all throughout the Treasure Valley, man. And everywhere. Heck, Denver, man. I mean, if you're a Denverite watching right now, or why don't we get together, man? Hang out right after football practice tomorrow.
And I think this one, Boise State USF, if you're a college football junkie, if you would say to yourself, yeah, I love college football, then there's a ton to chew on, in my opinion, with Boise State, USF, Boise State, and the CFP last year. USF's interesting, and you know this. There are certain programs you can win there, period. You can win at USF. You saw Levitt, you saw Taggart, you saw Strong, right? Like, that's a program you can win at.
You say
you're kind of waiting maybe for them to have that 1 year where they mega pop and get, I mean, not since Matt Grothy, who's not walking through that door, Coach Sanford, but BJ Daniels, they've had some good players, but this kid obviously is really good too. But yeah, this is a chewy, juicy, greasy matchup, man. USF and Boise State.
It is, and it's, man, this is not in terms of quality of opponent. This is not Georgia Southern. Okay, I want to lay that out there. Now, Georgia Southern presented its own slew of challenges because it is one of those weird kind of niche, small Southern college towns with a very proud tradition, particularly in FCS Division I AA football. But University of South Florida is in one of the recruiting meccas of all of the world, right? The Tampa, Sarasota, St. Pete metro has so many football players. I'm talking so many players. So you're going to have talent. You know, this is interesting. One of my best friends that I was with at University of Minnesota and at University of Colorado, Clay Patterson, after we were all let go at Colorado right before Coach Prime came in and brought in his Louis Vuitton luggage, my buddy went to South Florida and he went and coached with this head coach. This dude's an intense guy. He was at the University of Tennessee. He brings a lot of that SEC recruiting chops. Let's just say he's not afraid to have a few tire tracks on some individuals on the road to the top, which is kind of indicative a lot of times of these guys that have been successful as coordinators in the SEC. And so Alex, drawing a blank on my guy's name. Right? Golish, yeah, Alex Golish.
Yeah.
I kind of vowed to forget his name because of the things that I heard about him, but neither here nor there. That guy who I had eliminated his name from my vocabulary. I thought that after his first season at the University of South Florida, just a mere 2 seasons ago, I thought this was one of the programs that was major arrow up. I'm talking major arrow up. And in fact, last season took a step back. It was actually a worst year last year. And so Alex Golesh, not knowing the way that college football works now, if your arrow goes down at a program like South Florida 2 years in a row, you might not make it to year 4. So you better believe that all of those, whatever it takes, and by any means necessary tactics that SEC people employ, I would think that Alex Golesh is going to employ those tactics and has employed those tactics. And I'm talking about the way that he's built this roster. And there's going to be talented players.
It feels like, too, when you're building something, they're building an on-campus stadium so they don't have to play in 62% empty parks anymore at Raymond James, where, dang it, Miami would have a hard time selling that out. Not a directional school. I mean, it just doesn't fit. I don't know if you've ever coached there or not. I know you didn't face them at Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I did. I coached against South Florida my first year at Western Kentucky.
Dang, is that a non-con?
Sorry, my first stint at Western Kentucky when Willie Taggart was the head coach and I was the quarterback coach and pass game coordinator. And that was when Skip Holtz was the head coach at the University of South Florida. And did a really good job, man. Did a nice job there. So they were good, man. They were good. We lost. This is a good football team. So
it feels like a program that can, if it gets it going, it can be the program in the American moving forward, which now means in this system, you're going to go to the playoffs every so often. The winner of the American will get that bid. And it's just, you're kind of waiting. Thought they were there with Matt Grothe, but that was now 15 years ago. Kind of moved up and down on some coaching hires, but so no Georgia Southern. This is a team like is Bronco Nation. I mean, they could be 0-1 on this thing.
I would not be surprised if this thing's a ball game going into the third and fourth quarter. I would not be surprised one iota. One thing I was a little bit surprised by, on at least here in Circa Sports Colorado, I was a bit surprised to see the betting line on this game be what it was. Was surprising to me to see the point total was estimated at 63.5, which is the highest in all of college football.
That's odd, huh?
Do you see that? Do you see that?
I did see that. That was number one. That was the number one over-under total of the week.
You see this Boise State offense being a 35 to 45 point output at South Florida in the opener minus Ashton Genty.
Depends on South Florida's defense, right?
Well, it's interesting. So Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator, guy that I've been around, I coached against him when he was at Utah State. And I was at Boise State. That was 10, 11 years ago. He's been all over the college football world. Is certainly a guy that will blitz you back to the Stone Age. There's a lot of stuff that it's tough to prepare for because he throws caution to the wind. So he can give up a 50 burger, but he also can get 8 sacks and 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions because he is going to blitz you. And if you don't have a great plan, which I fully intend that Nate Potter and Matt Miller and Zach Hill are going to have a good plan. But let's not forget, this is the first time a play caller has made play calls in their lifetime. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah. I was gonna get to that one 100%. Yep. You've been there and somewhat maybe a worse situation or set of circumstances. First, though, it's the first one of the year, and there's going to be a season full of mic drops. We'll get there in 15 seconds.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
Johnny Ball Game, Ball Talk Nation. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Lots happened, man. I got new logos on, right? You guys are got a new backfield to root for. But at the end of the day, man, this is Boise State football, and I'll tell you this: the Boise State Broncos, They don't go down to Southeastern territory and take losses in opening games against group of 5 teams. You've been down there to different parts of the country in the Southeast. You've been down there. You survived Georgia Southern a year ago. And you know what tomorrow is all about at 3:30? Tomorrow is about a quarterback that we all, at different points in our journey as Boise State fans, as Boise State supporters, as alums, we all second-guessed. Starting with the Talon Green versus Maddox Madsen era. Is he really the guy that should be taking reps away from the development of what looks like an SEC starting quarterback? Oh, wait, he actually is now. Maddox Madsen has been the guy that has consistently showed up. He's consistently showed toughness, and he has, next to an unbelievable once-in-a-generation talent at running back, and on the opposite side of a crazy talented Boise State defense, Ashton Genty, Maddox Madsen got you back to the promised land. The journey starts tomorrow at 3:30 Mountain Time, 5:30 Eastern Time. And this is Maddox Madsen's team. It's time for Maddox Madsen to take this thing and run with it, to leave it all out there on the field, and to get to the era of not caring whatsoever about what anybody else thinks, because frankly, there is no other option. It is Maddox Madsen's football team, and tomorrow that era begins, and it is going to be some kind of ride. And I can't wait to be on the Ball Talk to break it all down with my man, Johnny Ballgame. Maddox Madsen.
This
era begins.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
I don't root so much for particular kids on the team. My position is weird, as a media member, and it's essentially, it's my job to talk about Boise State football for 15 hours a week and more so during football season. But I really hope that Maddox Madsen can have a better year than he had last year. And there's a difference, coach. And you've had these quarterbacks. Some quarterbacks, you break it down and you say, we're not going to lose this. We're not going to mess it up. Don't lose the game. Here's how we're going to win. And then you'll have other quarterbacks that say, you need to win this game for us. If we're going to win, you have to play really well. And we're even willing to roll the dice that you don't play well. That's how badly we need you to play well. It's on you. And I want to know if I'm going to see that this year with the doggy. Like, is it going to be, okay, now you probably know that switch. And maybe you even know when your quarterback, when you look at him and you say, he's all grown up, switch it off. And now we're going to ride you to victory, not say, hey, don't necessarily screw this up. Does that make any sense?
It makes all the sense in the world. And in fact, Johnny, the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix are kind of in that same spot. Is Bo Nix the quarterback that not only is going to go out and play well and manage the offense really well, is he going to go out there this year and win football games with his arm, with his legs? He'll be the reason. And that's a big thing. That was a big quote, a big slogan of Brian Harsin is the quarterback room wanted to be the reason that you win football games. And you are the great equalizer when all things are even. Say that Boise State and South Florida end up having equal talent. And Johnny, is it crazy to say that might be the case?
I think USF, if you put me at a USF practice, I might look around and say, dude, they got bigger dudes than Boise State does. USF is, and I know how it works. USF does not mess around. They get good players. Yes.
They always have. And so in a game like that, all things even, is Maddox Madsen going to be the reason? And that's a big thing. Like that's where I look at this season for Maddox Madsen. It is the quote unquote the reason defining season for Maddox Madsen. And I, as a former Boise State quarterback, having had a chance to interview him at media day at the Fiesta Bowl for the college football playoff, man, I kind of became a fan of his, man. I've always supported him. I've always looked at him as somebody that stands up, in the face of adversity and just keeps on showing up, brings his hard hat to work, brings his lunch pail, doesn't get caught up in a bunch of the shenanigans. I've a ton of respect for that player. I don't know. There will be a player maybe in the history of this program that was both so hated at times and probably ultimately will finish out being so beloved. That's rare because most of the quarterbacks, if you think about it, the great ones at Boise State, man, they showed up on the scene as starters, as really good players that just appeared the reason.
They did. I mean, Bart had a period there where you had to like fend off a Nate Sparks.
Right.
But after that, no, you're right, man. Like
Ryan Dinwiddie was that dude from the beginning.
Okay.
And
agree.
I would argue that Jared Zabransky, his best year might have been the very beginning.
Yep.
Outside of the finish in the Fiesta Bowl season.
He didn't have the gig the other 2 years. I mean, when you have the gig, it's a different mindset than I need to win a job type of thing, I would imagine. And yeah, that makes sense too.
And then you got to think that Kellen Moore was that guy from the jump. I mean, and then it's weird because Grant Hedrick was always kind of the player that when the fan base wasn't kicked in the tail about Joe Southwick, it was not a Niner. Let's throw Niner in there. Niner's pretty good. So he was a little bit more the guy that was the upstart player, not the guy that has had to fend off other players that have tons of hype and look like they should be the guy in Talon Green and in Malachi Nelson. Congratulations to Malachi Nelson, the starting quarterback of the University of Texas El Paso.
In Logan, Utah, against Mendenhall. I love that game, Coach. I love it.
It's going to be interesting.
I wanted to throw this in there too. Part of the reason, and I talk about this a lot on Ball Talk, that I started paying attention to Boise State and following the program when I moved here when I was a young adult and really sunk my teeth into this program. Part of the reason I loved it was the blue collar aspect. Like, it felt to me, no disrespect to the Sandman, but it felt to me that Dirk Cutter, Dan Hawkins, and Chris Peterson were winning with less. They were beating opponents who had better talent than them. They were smart. They were tough. They were gutty. They found OKGs, our kind of guys, and they won more than anybody else in the era. They scored more than anybody else in the era. And it's guys like, the TJ Acreys and the Tim Gilligans, Jay Swillies, Wingfields. Like, those guys weren't highly recruited. They were total underdogs. And the fans, we still talk about him. Jay Swilly last caught a ball 25 years ago, right? I mean, and we still talk about those teams. Maddox Madsen's story shows me where the program is and where the program was. Because the Boise State fan, in my opinion, of 25 years ago would have cheered for the underdog, the nothing, to win the gig over the big, bad parade All-American thing. It felt like this program was built on a guy like Maddox Madsen winning the gig versus a guy he has no business beating out for a job. 2 times, man. He beat both those guys. And it's like, okay, say it's like David versus Goliath. It's almost like Boise State fan went from rooting for David to rooting for Goliath. Like, Boise State fan was mad that David beat Goliath last year. Goliath, kick his ass, man. That's what they wanted from Malachi Nelson or Talon Green. And it felt like it switched a little bit. The old Boise State fan, well, maybe they do. Maybe I'm just talking for people who aren't in this boat for the Mad Dog. But it just feels like that story would be something that fans would love and embrace and cut slack. Mad Dog has no slack with his fan base. doesn't, man. I mean, Grant Hedrick, your 4 interception called game at Air Force. After that, I'm on the air saying it's over. Start Ryan Finley. Start him, Sanford. I remember saying that the next day in Boise, Idaho. You're not getting there with Grant Hedrick. Of course, intelligently, you don't listen to me, and you end up winning a Fiesta Bowl that year. But again, maybe I'm obviously rambling on this, but are you picking up?
Okay. So here's what I agree with everything that you're saying, Johnny, and it's a great, it's an incredible soliloquy to break down just the feel of Boise, Idaho, and the feel of the Boise State program, that it's always won. And at the end of the day, it seems like the blue collar players, the come from the ashes, from the dirt, and rise up players, those are the guys that end up doing it for this program. But even dating back to 2000, 2002, 2004, the city of Boise, Idaho, which, guys, it's not Los Angeles. It's not Seattle. Heck, it's not Denver. It's got a chip on its shoulder as a city that's always wanted to belong with the big boys. And the football program's no different. And I've always seen that when there is even a kind of a slight chance of being able to recruit somebody with a Pac-12 offer, or back then, that guy's got a Pac-10 offer. Woo! Everybody in the fan base just going bananas. That's going to be the guy, man. He's going to be the savior of the program. But guess who ends up winning the dang job every single time?
The OKG.
5'9.5", tough-nosed kid that had no offers except for maybe from a dog program like the University of Idaho. That's who ends up winning the job. Always wins the job over the big-time Pac-10 recruit.
What team did you enjoy beating the most? The buzz in the locker room, the anticipation in your 5-year career. Maybe you lost, 7 games, if that? I don't even know how many games you lost in your career, Mike.
I ended up being 53-9.
Okay, you lost 9 games in 5 years.
So we averaged 1.35 losses a year. And we averaged
so sweet, man.
10 point whatever, 6.
And your margin of victory, you guys, go back and look at Boise State's margin of victory from the second they joined the league to the year they left the league in 2010. And I challenge you to find another team that dominated a conference on that level in college football history over a decade. The only team I can maybe find is Florida State when they first joined the ACC. Absolutely dominant, but they didn't have the margin of victory that you guys had. I mean, you guys were just hammering teams and playing defense on that. I want to get back, and we need to do this. I love Ball Talk. You guys down with this show? We're doing a good job for you on good, Ball Talk. We're loving it. What's it like being a first-time play calling offensive coordinator in a game you have to win? You just have to. Let's talk to the Sandman on this when we come back.
If you think I'm pretty, lay your hands on me. No, you can't stop thinking about it. I know that you're shitty and you're bad for me, but I can't stop thinking about it. If you think I'm pretty, lay your hands on me. No, you can't stop thinking about it. I know that you're shitty and you're bad for me, but I can't stop thinking about it.
Appreciate the breather. Shout out BNN pregame shows tomorrow. I'll be on BNN Live, you guys, tomorrow at 9 a.m. BJ will be in Tampa. I know the postgame stuff, BNN coverage all day. Shout out to all the sponsors as well that help BNN. This is a free program tonight. BJ wanted to go ahead and do this for everybody. One, to get people to be like, oh, okay, that's a kick-ass show. If it's going to cost me $4 a month to get that 4 times, okay, honey, we need to pay for this. Hopefully we're going to get that, but also it's kickoff to the first game of the year, the opener in a game, like I said, and you know how this is. Your wife, Anne Marie, knows how this is. There's some games you just have to win. You just have to. Everything is at stake. You have to win. Now, this isn't that But you went into a situation in 2014, the same situation Nate Potter is in right now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Play calling, OC in a big game on the road, that a neutral site. Like it's a little later East Coast time, like 10:30. I don't know what the coaches are doing now, probably putting the finishing touches on whatever they need to do, but the pressure on Potter, what's going through Nate Potter's head tonight? You've been there.
Well, I mean, I think it's all just trusting your preparation. Nate Potter, I mean, one thing I'll say about Nate, knowing him just a bit, he's a really even-keeled, stoic individual. I don't think his highs are going to be too high. I don't think his lows are going to be too low. He's just, you know what he is? He's a good offensive line soul, man. That's what he is. He played the position.
I love that guy. He's cool.
Yeah, he's just a good dude, man. He's a good dude. He's got a good way about him. He's got a good disposition. I think if I'm giving advice to Nate Potter, it's don't try to think about what you're living up to. And that's what I had to do. I mean, my opening game was against an Ole Miss team that had about 9 future NFL starters on it. And it was a team that was put together at the time by the biggest cheater in college football, Hugh Freeze, and the bag was real, and they were dropping off big bags at Ole Miss. That's when Ole Miss was filthy, and they had some players. But what I would tell you is, Nate, obviously you're not listening. You're getting ready. You're looking over your play sheet. Just do what you've done to get to this position, and that's be a really good, be very, very good at making the adjustments and sticking to what you need to do in the run game. Because at the end of the day, running the football wins championships. Heck, my first high school football game as a head coach that I ever coached last week, didn't know the opener. Of course, it was in Colorado Springs, about 7 miles from the academy, from Air Force. And I had no idea that it was going to be buckets of sideways rain on August 22nd. What was I as a play caller able to fall back on? What we built this dang thing in to begin with, which was running the dang football and running power and running counter and running duo and running outside zone and making the adjustments as we saw high school defenses. Who knows what the heck they're going to do a lot of times. It's like, you can prepare all you want, but they might come in and change their entire structure. That's what it is, man. And that's the thing that Nate understands. He's coached for a while. He's made a lot of adjustments in the run game. And I would lean into your strengths. And your strengths are you are going to know the run game. And don't try to prove that you're, an air raid guy right out the gate and you got to throw for 395 yards. Go freaking get out the lawnmower, freaking rev that sucker up and freaking start knocking down some blades of grass. That's what I want to see. I want to see a physical football team. Spencer Danielson hired a offensive line coach to call the plays. Has that happened in the history of Boise State football?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, it would be before Cutter.
It would, wouldn't be any time in the modern era in the 1995.
It's usually not a path. You want that quarterback guy like you, the cute little quarterback dude who's got these brilliant play calls. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I worked with a really good play caller in the college ranks at Sanford that was a pure O-line guy. And that was Mike Bloomgren, who went on to be the head coach at Rice, and now he's got the honor of being the offensive line coach for the Cleveland Football Browns. How fun would that be right now to be a part of that one right now?
Gosh, man, tough gig.
And watching what Mike Bloomgren did, man, is that he really leaned into his strengths of being a great game planner in the run game. And a lot of those Stanford teams running the ball, with jumbo tight ends, was a lot of that was with an O-line coach that was calling plays, and it was a beautiful thing.
What goes into going there 2 days early? I mean, what makes coaches nervous about that whole operation? You creatures of habit, and you had a whole day today that you had with the players, the high school practice. You got to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed with there. You're feeding 80 something odd players that you traveled, whatever that be. And this is just not the typical trip. You usually in football don't go 2 days early, but this is a different set of circumstances. What goes on in that process? And are you a believer in, hey, we got to go, the plane ride's another extra maybe hour than what it would have been if we were going to Texas, but we're going to go 2 days early?
Yeah, if you're traveling 2 time zones, I think it's a smart move to go to. It's like 2 time zones or more. You need to have 2 days, or 2 days is always good. That was our rule at Notre Dame. Is whenever we played out at Stanford or USC, we always got 2 days.
Gotcha.
So I think it's a tremendous opportunity. For just getting acclimated to the temperatures. I like the hydration opportunities that you get. You're always thirsty as all get out on a flight. And then you get a little bit of a sweat and just, kind of replenishing your fluids. Ironically, in the high school ranks, I'm traveling my team down to Las Vegas. And I know that's a quick trip from Denver to Las Vegas, but you start thinking about all those little things like hydration plan, fueling the body. When are you going to get up and move the players? So that you're not dealing with stiffness the day before a game. And so that's I think it's really smart to go early. So,
are there any, say, because college football, I love it, and then I think it's nonsense that there's no preseason whatsoever. Braxton Feely, he's not going to face somebody. This is the first time he faces somebody he doesn't know. The first snap, you just know nothing, not even like a controlled scrimmage you guys are allowed to schedule with another program, which I think, and I've heard coaches say, would be tremendously effective. I know there'd be fights, but you guys would love to do that. And then you can schedule up, you can schedule down, you can schedule like-minded for the preseason controlled scrimmage. 1 year you travel, the next year you don't. You sign home and homes, and you play 2 years, and you do a controlled scrimmage so you get to hit somebody else, for crying out loud. But are there certain things as a coach, coordinator, play caller, you're just not going to run it because it's week 1 and we are not willing to risk that then type of thing?
Yeah, so I've had the opportunity. It's so funny that you mentioned that, Johnny, because now I covered the Denver Broncos, and I was at every training camp practice this year for the Broncos. And I'm also preparing a high school team to get ready. As a high school coach, man, I was like, wait, I can go play whoever I want tomorrow? I can just have a 7-on-7 with a local team? Cool. Hey, pal, guess who I did it with? Hey, Jake Heaps. Jake Heaps is the head coach at Legend High School.
Is he
Russell
okay?
Wilson's quarterback guy.
Yeah.
Right down the road, 7 miles away from, hey, Jake.
Former radio guy in Seattle, Jake Heaps. Former radio
one of
guy.
The greatest pure throwers in the football in the high school ranks ever, let alone in the state of Washington. And he's now the high school head coach at one of our rivals. So we got together and did 7-on-7 with him. And then I was like, hey, Jake, let's do our padded scrimmage the week before the season starts. Done. It's like, it's the greatest thing ever. You get a chance to see somebody else. And we got to work against an odd front team for the first time because we had been an even front team. And it was awesome. You get to learn about your team, and you get to do it in a teaching environment.
Right.
And then I see the Denver Broncos do it. I watch joint practices. Kyler Murray and the dang Arizona Cardinals are 15 yards in front of the radio booth that I'm broadcasting. I'm like, how cool is this, man? And in college football, it's like this little surprise. And it's like the bridegroom is waiting to be revealed on
with so much at stake too. So college football is a really big deal now for a lot of people, and you just go into a season blind. Again, I love it, but I also think like, man, that doesn't really make sense in today's landscape. You give these coaches a couple of days, but no, they don't. It's
like
if
I was here in like Colorado, right? If I say, you were able to see other teams, heck, if I'm CSU, right, Colorado State, I'd be like, man, I'd love to tangle with just get together with Colorado School of Mines for a 7-on-7. Why not?
100%. Bring in an NAIA team. Spencer could bring in Eastern Oregon University or the College of Idaho. How easy that would be. And the Yotes would love it. They get to practice against Boise State. Wow. It's win-win-win on that. Again, some of the ideas on Ball Talk, who knows who's watching that one, but some type of controlled scrimmage in that regard would be pretty sweet.
I totally agree, Johnny.
What do you think about? I want to get to some of these questions. Some of these are really good, man. So we will do that. But we also want to get some picks in on Ball Talk. I know you got yours. I got some of mine, and let's go over some. I mean, what an epic week one. We'll see you in a couple seconds.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
All right, let's get it on, Coach. Couple of picks. You start us off. College football week one. Let's just go. How about 2 picks each this week? 2 absolute stone cold lead pipe of the millennium locks. These are a certainty. These aren't risks. This is an investment. Mike Sanford, is there a line that you love? Because I do. I have a couple here that are dangerous.
Tell you what, man. You Bitcoin may be going down right now, but you'll have so much money to waste and invest after you take this thing to the bank. Miami of Ohio, Chuck Martin's squad that obliterated the CSU Rams last year in the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. I was there. Chuck Martin's squad, the Red Hawks were ready to roll. Miami of Ohio is traveling to jump around Camp Randall and Luke Fickell. Man, it's a little bit scorching hot up there. The seats are a little warm. 17.5-point underdogs are the Miami of Ohio Red Hawks. And you're going to laugh your tail off when you take Miami of Ohio and the 17.5 points and just lay it and watch this game come down to a field goal at the end. You're going to be laughing.
Yeah, another reason to watch Ball Talk. You get Red Hawks, you get Miami of Ohio,
Chuck Martin,
Ben Roethlisberger, Miami of Ohio. Here's a game that I absolutely love, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about the NFL doesn't have it like this. The level of, no, honey, we have to win this game. What do you mean, like have to? Yes, babe, we have to win this game. And I think Kalen DeBoer is almost in that situation.
Ooh, you are right.
In Alabama, he can't lose to Florida State. And I know it's Florida State. Wow, Florida State. Yeah, they are terrific. It's Florida State. Like, you should be able to have an excusable loss for losing to Florida State in football. No way, man. No way. He has to win, and I think he will. And I am a huge Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb fan. Ryan Grubb won 10 games last year with the Seahawks, but it just wasn't schematically and philosophically what Mike McDonald wants to do. So it's fine. They shook hands, hugged it out, and said, Ryan Grubb says, I'm going to go back and have historic offenses in college football, like I did with the team you faced, Michael Penix and those Huskies 2 years ago, going undefeated.
Unfortunately, Michael Penix Jr. is not walking into the Alabama locker room anytime soon.
Oh, man, that would be sweet if he was. But neither is Chris Wenke or Charlie Ward over there in Tally, right? I mean, they got their own problems. Florida State does. Talk about needing to win. Mike Norvell, throw him there too. But they're favored by 13.5. Ryan Grubb is back. And it's not, if they win by 7, people aren't happy. Guys, I believe in all of my heart that it's going to be like Alabama 54-7. like they're just going to hammer shred them like they did to USC a couple of years ago. One of these programs that's surviving on name and rep, Florida State's like first in line for me on that. And this is not a comfortable Bama situation for Kalen DeBoer. He can't go 9-3 again, coach. It's not allowed. You don't get it. And if they lose the opener to Florida State, and I don't know where they go. I mean, it's just, he has to win. I'm going that. That is my number one pick of the week. Take Bama, lay the 13.5.
Where's the game at?
I think it's going to be this game was. I think it's going to be over, Coach Sanford, at halftime. I think it's going to be one of those. And you saw these games with Michael Penix Jr. as well when he was at Washington. It's at Doak, Coach. It's at Doak Campbell. It's a rare.
And that stadium's now it's done, right? Remember, it was under construction 2 years ago when they were really good.
Yeah, I mean, okay, ABC.
Dude, I think Alabama's a pretender, man.
You take the 13.5. You take FSU and the points on that?
I actually wouldn't be surprised if FSU wins this football game.
Oh, okay, well, make your pick. No,
I'm good, man. I'm going to go with an interesting one here. Shocking odds here. And I know that there's a lot of Boise State ties to one side of this contest. Brian Harsin's offensive coordinator debut in the Atlantic Coast Conference comes in Corvallis, Oregon, where the Oregon State Beavers are 3-point favorites. My guy, Trent Bray, kind of hasn't gone great up there. Justin Wilcox and the defense is going to be game. I'm not a believer whatsoever in the state of Oregon State football. Not only does Cal go up to Corvallis and win the football game, they absolutely cover, which lay the +3. Cal is an underdog up at Oregon State, a team that I just don't see going anywhere anytime soon. I cannot believe that Cal is an underdog with how Oregon State played last year. That was a bad football team.
Yeah, Trent Bray, he's going to be lucky if he gets to coach that team with a Pac-12 logo on their patch next year.
Why do you think Cal is a 3-point dog in that game?
Because Cal stinks too. And we'll see this brain trust experiment of Ron Rivera in charge of your boy Justin Wilcox, your boy Nick Rolovich, and your boy Brian Harsin. Like that brain trust, and you bringing that up, I forgot. You're right. Brian Harsin is a play calling OC in college football again at Cal. Like that interests me.
How long has it been?
2 years? I think has he been out just one full year? Was he fired in season?
No, I'm saying how long has it been since he's been a play calling offensive coordinator?
Okay, so he never called plays when he was the head coach at Boise State. You're right. He didn't.
It was
did he?
Texas.
Did he call plays at Arkansas State as a head coach for 1 year?
It started out as Bush, and then it went to Eli, apparently.
So this is the first game Harsin will have called in 15 years or so.
Is that not insane?
What's that like? I mean, would you imagine it would be difficult?
I just went 2022 to – I just went 3 years from 2022 to 2025. And I was like, whew, I better dust this call sheet off, man.
God, my next bet. I'm throwing this in there. You know, Cody Hawkins, Dan Hawkins, Idaho State, your boy Jeff Pittman, and the job they're doing in Pocatello. Like they should have won that game. That would have been fun to see UNLV lose that too. Boise State fans would have just loved that. However,
I called that though. UNLV is the drizzling poops.
I'm with you. I'm going. They play at Sam Houston. Okay, and UNLV is favored by 9 points. I wouldn't lay 9 if they were playing another FBS team. They're playing in Houston, Texas. I don't think it is the stadium where the Houston Texans play. That would be ridiculous to host UNLV in an NFL stadium. Hopefully it's on campus or wherever their home is. But UNLV is a 9.5 point favorite on the ROAD. at Sam Houston. Give me Sam Houston, and I'll take the 9.5. UNLV, I don't buy it. You're not going to get things fixed that quick. Go Bearcats.
I like the pick a lot. I like the pick.
Yeah, dude. All right. You have one more pick?
I got Boise State.
Oh, what?
You said 2 each, right?
Yep. You're going with Boise State.
Well, we always pick the Boise State game, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Okay. So
I'm going to take the under. I'll take the under 63.5 if I was going to play Boise State.
That's a tremendous bet.
I'll take the under.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. What do you have the odds right now? I have Boise State as 6-point favorites.
Yeah, I've seen it at 5.5 at places today too.
I take Boise State. Boise State's going to cover, baby. They're going to cover.
They win by a touchdown.
They win by somewhere between 8 and 12. That's what I see. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, a little gritty, a little funky. But if this team is in the post Ashton Genty, post Ahmed Hassanin era, and the now Maddox Madsen era, the Mad Dog era, if they are who we believe they are, then you need to win this football game. You have to.
Okay.
You have to.
Okay. In the world we're living in with no preseason, no joint practice, no anything like that. I don't know how many opening days you've had, almost 20 as a coach, certainly more than that if you throw all the times you were a player at Boise State and going through that process, getting ready for the opener. Shenander, he's bringing it. He's going to apply pressure. You just know this. It's what they do. USF knows this, and they're going to do everything they can to, line the protection up and get the right call. In game one, who would you say has the advantage, the DC or the OC, when you just let the players stink and play? Is it easier to do one or the other, to rush the passer or protect the blitz week one when you haven't really done it against anybody you don't know?
I would say that the advantage would be with South Florida right now overall because of their quarterback, Byron Brown, who 6'3", 231. There's just not a whole bunch of sample size on the player. Last year he just had 78 attempts, 132 yards, or 132 attempts, and 2 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. He's been around the program. I heard a lot about him the year that my buddy Clay Patterson was there. He did get a little bit dinged up just a year ago. So, he was fantastic in 2023. So it'll be interesting to see just how he looks, man, because he's a 4th-year player that is big. He's physical. And this was a 65% completion percentage guy as a true sophomore, and did go 26 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. And the guy can tote the rock, man. 809 rushing yards and 11 tutties in 2023.
Career, I think he's thrown for over 300 yards 4 times, but he's ran for over 100 yards 5 times. So you talk dual threat. Okay, you slow him down passing, but he's still going to run for a hundo on foot. That doesn't solve your problems, and vice versa. Okay, we can cage him up, but if we can't pressure him, he has the ability to beat us through the air as well. He is a problem, and I think if Boise State loses this game, it's going to be Byron Brown is, without question, the best player on the field, and they just don't have an answer. Bless their heart. I don't think that's going to happen either, but I think that's in play. Let's get to some of these questions. We got a bunch, and if you want to get one in, we got a few minutes left. If you want to ask Coach Sanford or myself anything regarding anything, we'll see you in 15.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
All right, let's get to some of these comments. Appreciate everybody on Ball Talk, as always. Jumpin' Idaho's great. I love Sanford picking Cal. Yeah, rolling with Harsin on that, man. I love it. Ryan McCallum, I can't recall the year, but he believes Harsin called plays one of the
I think
years.
you're right. I think you're right about that, Ryan. And I think it might have been one of the Zach Hill years where
I think so, because that was one of the years Harsin was all upset that the fans were making a big deal out about who was calling the plays, I want to say. Here's a good one. Pretty hot on Malik Sherrod. Think he's going to do some good things, but Gaines is going to keep up too. Hopefully you see Riley for a few plays. Curious about his growth. What are you hearing? What are you feeling? What are you thinking Boise State's going to see tomorrow with the run game?
Malik Sherrod's going to be the guy, man. I think we're going to come out of the game saying that dude's a superstar. I love what he did at Fresno State. I think Boise State's the fan base is going to fall in love with Malik Sherrod after the USF game.
That's my prediction too. I'll save more of it for tomorrow in pregame shows.
I like Sire Gaines,
and Malik the ball.
Yes,
get Malik Sherrod the ball tomorrow.
Here's my
things
prediction.
Will happen. Get the kid get him the ball. I'm with you, man.
Here's my prediction on Sire Gaines, because when you look at it, a lot of his production did come in the opening game against Georgia Southern.
All of it.
It was like, dude, the Georgia Southern defensive structure was so flawed, man. There were just unaccounted for gaps.
You're right.
And so he was big enough, strong enough to run through open holes. I don't know that Sire Gaines has the make you miss wiggle that you're going to need with the athleticism that's going to be on the field tomorrow in South Florida.
Well, what do you think about Chris Marshall? What do you expect? Any expectations?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Don't call me a skeptic, but I'm in a bit of a wait and see mode. I said it last week on Ball Talk season 3, episode 1. It will have been a massive success for Chris Marshall if you get to week 10, and he is doing great, man. And I'm not talking about leading the nation in receptions, but he's a great teammate. He's blocking his tail off. He's making plays. He's catching tightly contested passes, and he's healthy. That'll be a huge thing for the Boise State offense.
Maddox talked about it earlier. He said one of his favorite things about whatever this transformation or maturation process with Chris Marshall was. Mad Dog says he no longer bitches when he doesn't get the ball. And sometimes Maddox would have to be like, dude, you're my third read on that play. It doesn't matter if you're open. If read 1 is open, the ball's out. It doesn't matter. And you know how receivers are on that, and you have to feed them. And apparently that's no longer an issue between Chris Marshall and Maddox Madsen. So hopefully
Johnny, what's the name of the show?
Ball Talk.
Ball Talk. Do you mind if I talk?
Presented by Circa.
Do you mind if I talk ball for a second? Is that okay if I talk ball? Johnny, do I get permission to talk ball?
100%.
Thank you. Okay, so there's two different things that you can do really right now in the modern football passing game, right? There's what a lot of people talk about, which is pure progression passing game, PPR, pure progression read. So a pure progression read is exactly what you talked about, where you can see a quarterback, a lot of times he is set his feet here, set his feet here, set his feet here. And it is literally as simple as, is 1 open? Yes. Throw it to 1. Is 2 open? If 1's not open, move on to 2. Is 2 open? No. Move on to 3. That's a pure progression read. Okay. That can frustrate receivers like a Chris Marshall. Okay. Because Chris Marshall could get frustrated if he is not by chance in that progression consistently, where he is in options 1 or 2, or even if he is option 2 and option 1 just consistently is open. The other thing you can do, and this is the thing that I learned, is the RPO game, man, for a big physical receiver. It allows you to get the ball and call your shots based off of the run play to try to affect somebody in the coverage that might come down in the run fit.
That's dangerous too, man. Heck yeah. To get have the option to hit the receiver on that, the X.
Yes, the X receiver. And man, I'll tell you what, it is a dangerous thing when you got a 6'3", 6'4" X receiver that can go big body, a corner, and you can go throw that glance post. That's a beautiful thing, man. And then all of a sudden you can kind of call your shots. And then, they're starting to overplay that inside kind of 5-step hard, skinny post. All right, well, let's either double move it or, man, let's just run by the son of a gun if they're going to squat their feet and run a go route. Or, hey, let's run a stop route. Oh, let's run an out route. It opens up the entire route tree, especially if you're seeing a lot of one high defenses, which Boise State's going to get.
There was another question I wanted to get on this thing too, and I know you love this position, Coach, and that's just the tight end room. I think we're going to see, I called it last week, we're going to see a ton of 12 personnel because they love Matt Lauder. And they really like Matt Wagner too, who's bigger than Matt Lauder. And you expecting tight ends to be used a lot this year, Coach? I mean, Potter, the tight ends coach, is the OC.
Oh gosh, I love the position, man.
Makes you wonder.
Just
good kids. You got a good tight end at Valor. You got a good tight end at Valor.
Yeah, we play. We've already been playing with 3. Play the fullback too. I mean, we got. We'll go 5 wides sometimes. I mean, we just personnel, baby. Use your personnel. Change it up. Get weird.
Beautiful.
Matt Lauder's he's going to be a tremendous success story this season. It was last year. I'm looking forward to watching him play. I can't wait to watch the tight end group, and they're going to be utilized in a lot of really fun different ways. I think that's going to be. I think you're going to come out of the season and say that and the offensive line group were the strength of in terms of units of the offense.
Coach, 2 true freshmen made the travel party. One of them, Quentin Brown. If you go to a practice, he's there. He is noticeable. Smallest guy, one of the smallest guys on the team. He's packed though. He's one of those guys. He's small, but he can bring it physically. And he has the ability in football, and bless him, he knows how to make people miss. And if there's one dude trying to get on the slot, he is Shane Williams Rhodes plus 20, 30 pounds, maybe a little taller too. Yeah. He's almost built like a running back. Quentin Brown. He's one of the fastest players.
Kind of a Debo Samuel light.
100%. I think, and I think eventually he's going to get a lot of snaps in the slot.
What jersey number does he wear?
25.
Okay, I'll be watching.
Yeah, Quentin Brown, and he just makes guys miss. That's why I love Malik Sherrod too.
Who's your starting slot receiver right now?
Latrell Caples, and it's his gig until Quentin Brown is just too good to keep off the field. In my opinion, Quentin Brown's going to make a guy miss easier than Latrell Caples will. Latrell Caples is probably the better route runner.
I want just from your eyeballs, I want a power ranking today going into game 1 of wide receiver 1 to wide receiver 5.
Yeah, Chris Marshall, wide receiver 1. I'll put Latrell at 2, but I'm putting him in the slot. And Ben Ford, you have to just tip your cap. He had a really good camp.
Where's he playing? Is he playing slot also?
No, he's playing on the 11 personnel. He's the Z, the flanker, an old school term.
How tall is Ben? Is he taller than 6'1"?
No.
5'11"?
Probably.
A little bit slapped together.
Yeah, I'd have to see where he is. Local kid.
I evaluated Ben as a quarterback at Eagle High School.
I mean, they lost Austin Bolt. And they lost Prince Strawn.
Sad story, man.
Yeah, and they've had to replace these guys. So, I mean, I think they're going to do a lot of shuffling. Matt Miller will. But as of right now, yeah, Latrell's going to be playing. But if you ask me that question in November with the season, these freshmen they signed, the other there's another one who's 6'5", the other wide receiver, true freshman, string bean, but he catches everything. And he's a tough cover just with his length. But true freshmen, man, sometimes they're like puppies, man. They're going to pee the carpet. And this is really important carpet. And you can't have a puppy peeing on it, man. So you got to stay on the sidelines and let, the potty trained people get on. There's analogies all night on Ball Talk for you, Coach. But Yeah, I think it's one of those deals, but I don't know how much we'll see him, but I think 5 true freshmen, Coach, made the trip. What's the most you've taken, if you remember, a week one? Did you ever have a year where you took a ton of trips?
Yeah, so actually, this is pretty wild. My first year at Western Kentucky as a head coach, I wanted to go the high school route. I followed 2 head coaches that went the JC and transfer route, and that was Bobby Petrino and Jeff Brom. And so if you don't replenish outbound transfers and JC guys, you go recruit high school guys. Well, guess what? You got a lot of high school guys. Yeah. So going into my second year on our depth chart, my sports information director, we're sitting down at Conference USA Media Days having a bourbon or something.
Where do they have those?
He looks over at me. They were in Frisco, Texas.
Okay.
One year it was actually in Alabama somewhere, and one year it was in Frisco. So he looks over at me and he goes, Coach, I don't know if you're going to be able to survive this year, but if you do, you're going to be really good. I go, why? He goes, I looked at your 2 deep, your starters. You have 18 of 22 starters are first or second year players in the program. First or second year college football program. I was like, oh boy. Yeah. So I have traveled and played with very young football players in my career.
That's tough, man. Boise State doesn't. Last year, 2 true freshmen. One of them was Sire Gaines, who didn't play after the Portland State game. And the other was Cameron Bates, who was going to play a lot. If he's not the starter, it'll be Ben Ford. If it's not Ben Ford, it'll be Cameron Bates. You'll see a lot of them.
Hey, where's do you have a Chase Penry update?
Yeah, he's there and he's out there, and I'm sure you'll see him. But I mean, he's just right there in the mix. There's a lot of guys in the room, as you know, and I haven't seen Henry take a lot of 1 reps, but he takes some. I mean, they do shuffle a lot, but there's only so many balls that can go around, Coach. And early on, you're going to find the guys that can get separation, sure-handed, know what they're doing, and sometimes that's tough to find. But I think they got a pretty good room. We'll see. It depends on Chris Marshall. Chris Marshall just needs to be the elite guy. You throw those tight ends and the running game in, which I think they're going to run the hell out of the ball this year, Coach. Yep. I think they're going to be really good at it too. I like their backs.
That'd be a surprise compared to last year. They didn't run it very well last year.
No, their line. You look at the tape. Yeah. Yeah. No, their line too. You look at the tape, and a lot of the guys that are going to be playing this year were hurt last year, and they're back. And then you get a better version of Cage Casey. I want to see, can Cage Casey go a whole year without giving up a sack? Wow. I think that would be nice. Look at this line last year. Mad Dog doesn't get sacked. He doesn't take negative plays, so that's something as well. Final thoughts tomorrow, 3:30 BNN coverage. I'll be here with BNN Live with BJ tomorrow morning. They got the pregame. They got the postgame. Sanford, final thoughts, Boise State season opener in South Florida.
Couldn't be more excited, man. And it's one of those times, man, if you're in the comment section, it's pretty simple. You know how to respond here, baby. It's as simple as this. You respond after I say, Boise! Let's go, baby. Football is back.
Well said. See you guys next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Bronco Nation News. Guys, subscribe. We can't guarantee if these shows are going to be available next week, and hopefully you can work that out, but we'll get after it. Coach, have a good one. Good luck this week, and enjoy maybe the best sports weekend of the year, Labor Day weekend, with you and your family.
Football. So much football.
Great stuff, guys.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.